Hey everyone. I, 27, male, and my ex-girlfriend, Mindy, 25, female, had been together for 2 years, but then, she ghosted me for no reason last month. She and I met each other at her friend's party 2 years back, and after dating for a couple of months, we made things official and have been together ever since. I really liked her and I think she's been the first serious relationship that I've had in my life. Before her, of course, I'd been with people, but no relationship of mine had lasted for so long, and I would end up losing interest in a couple of months, or they would end up breaking up with me because they wanted something different from life. But with Mindy, everything was very different, and I don't know how to explain it, but she was just special. These past 2 years were probably the best ones of my life because I was just so happy with her. I thought she was happy with me too, but then, a couple of months ago, she started acting really weird and distant from me. I tried to get to the bottom of it, and I tried to have a discussion with her about this several times, but she just kept telling me that she was busy with work and so, she didn't have enough time for me. She had just started working at this new company and this was all apparently very stressful for her, so I decided to give her the space that she said she needed. I tried not to feel bad about it, but deep down, I was very hurt with the way that she was acting. She would be working long hours, or at least she claimed that she was, and she barely even spoke to me anymore. For the past couple of months, it really felt like she had completely lost interest in me or the relationship and was taking me for granted. And then, 1 month back, she and I got into a really big fight one night. So, we don't live together, even though we have been together for so long. She lives a couple blocks away from me and traveling to each other's places takes like 20 to 30 minutes on average. She had come to my place after work and was complaining about how tired she was. So I suggested that we could move in together, since I had been planning on asking her to move in with me for quite some time anyway, but then, because of her behavior, I hadn't been able to. And that seemed like the perfect opportunity because her office was actually pretty close to my apartment. I thought that it would be convenient for us, but she declined and said that she would much rather live in her own apartment, and I found that response quite confusing because she had just been complaining about how long it took for her to get to her workplace in the mornings and staying with me would solve this problem. I told her that I could make everything legal and add her onto the lease and split the rent and everything if that's what the problem was. But she then told me that she was just not interested in living with me, and that's when I got a bit upset. Because I don't know about her, but I was pretty serious about that relationship and I wanted to take it forward. We had been together for 2 whole years. I thought that it would be the right time for us to move in together and take this relationship to the next level. I could understand if she was not ready yet, but then, we had to at least talk about it because I wanted to know what she felt about me or if she was even serious about me. I wanted a life with her, and if she did not want that, I needed to know it because I wanted to be with someone who was on the same page as me. Or at least I needed to know that she would be on the same page as me at some point, if not now. But when I tried to talk to her about this, she started yelling at me and said that I was trying to pressure her into moving in with me when she was just not interested or even ready yet. I tried to clarify that that's not what I was trying to do. I was just trying to see where she was in the relationship and have a discussion with her. I tried to be as calm and collected as possible, but she just kept screaming in my face and accused me of being insecure and jealous of her better life. So I lost it as well and I started fighting with her too. I ended up yelling at her and saying that she was not even serious about this relationship and told her that I wanted her to leave. So she grabbed her stuff and left that night. And after that, she blocked me everywhere and ghosted me completely. The next morning, when I woke up, I tried to call her to talk to her, but I was blocked. And then, while trying to contact her, I realized that she had pretty much blocked me in every single way that was possible. So then, I started panicking, and I decided to drive to her apartment. But when I got there, the landlord told me that she had packed her things last night itself and had even handed over the keys earlier because she said she would not be coming back. She had cleared the rent and ended the lease agreement beforehand, so this was not something that was a last-minute decision. I was shocked because this was a big deal and I thought that she would have spoken to me about it if she was moving out of her place. While I was in that state, I decided to try and contact a couple of her friends, but they had all blocked me as well. So I decided to speak to a few mutual friends, and they said that she hadn't spoken to them in the last few weeks and they had no idea what I was talking about. To sum it up, nobody was able to help me at that point, and it was very easy for her to me because a couple of days after that fight, she just went off the grid altogether. We had a few mutual friends who let me know that she had deleted all of our social media accounts and was not responding to any messages or phone calls. So even if they had been able to tell me what she was up to through social media, we wouldn't have the opportunity to do that anymore. I tried to do everything in my power to get her to talk to me for 2 whole weeks, but after that, I was forced to give up because it was a dead end. I tried to talk to her parents, but even they had blocked me. Then, I tried to visit them, but they refused to even open the door to me and said that they would call the cops if I disturbed them anymore. None of her friends were willing to speak to me and I had to give up. I had been acting like a madman for 2 weeks and I was just so grief-stricken that I didn't know what to do with myself anymore. All I could do was go to work and then wait for work to get over so I could get back to searching for her. I knew that she did not want to be found, which is why she had blocked me and gone off the grid, but I just wanted to talk to her one last time. Even if she wanted to end things with me, I wanted her to at least say that she wanted me out of her life because we had been together for 2 years. I deserved a proper breakup and some closure. I felt like I'd become completely psychotic, and after realizing that she was not coming back, I had a mental breakdown and knocked myself out after polishing off a couple of bottles of wine. I know this might sound weird to a lot of people, but the way she was treating me, I literally felt like somebody had died, and I was dealing with that sort of pain. Anyway, after 2 weeks and that terrible hangover the day after I finished those bottles of wine, I decided to finally give up hope and tried to move on instead of getting back to her. For the past 2 weeks, I've been focusing more on work since my quality of work had declined considerably when I was trying to deal with the breakup. But now, I had no choice but to focus, or otherwise, I might have ended up getting fired from my job as well. After coming back from work, I would not speak to anybody and just try to take my mind off of everything by reading a book or watching some TV show or whatever. I was trying to be better, and I'm lucky that my friends and family were there to support me. They kept checking in on me and would text me every morning and every night to make sure that I was doing fine, so that helped. But in spite of my best efforts to move on, I was still feeling really low, and I would end up crying myself to sleep because of how much pain I was in emotionally. I just really missed her and wanted her back, no matter what she had done to me. Anyway, I was going through a lot emotionally, and then, all of a sudden, I received news from a couple of friends that Mindy was back online, and the first thing that she had posted was a picture of her with another guy, and they were hugging, and she had written an entire paragraph in the caption to celebrate their 6-month anniversary. I received screenshots of that post from several people, and I was in shock because I had never even imagined in 1,000 years that Mindy would end up cheating on me. But there it was, and I could not even deny it because it was right in my face. I was extremely upset when I found out about it, and for a couple of hours, I didn't even know how to react. I was just numb, and I think I was blank about what to do next, and that continued for a couple of days until 6 days ago, when I finally decided that I couldn't just let this go. I had tried to be the bigger person and not do anything about it and move on, but I just felt so horrible about myself that I felt like I just had to do something about it. So I ended up begging a friend of mine to lend me his account because I wanted to stalk the guy she was with, and after a lot of convincing, they agreed to let me have their account since he followed her, and she had a private account on Instagram, so making a fake account would not do me any good. Anyway, after I had logged into his account, I started stalking the guy, and luckily, he had a public account. From his posts, I could figure out that he was quite wealthy, and most of his pictures were in exotic countries, on yachts with bottles of champagne, or him in tuxedos at extravagant parties. He definitely knew how to live it up, and it was impressive. After stalking him for some time, I realized that recently, for the past couple of months, Mindy had been featured in every single one of his posts. Her face was never in any of the pictures that he posted with her, so I guess that's how nobody was able to figure anything out. But I could see her hands in a couple of photos because I recognized a tattoo that she had on her wrist. And in some photos, they had their feet put together. Just glimpses of her here and there, and then finally, there was the anniversary post with both of their faces in it. And I could see that he was really into her, just as I had been. When I realized that, I don't know what happened, but before I could even think about what I was doing, I logged out of my account and into my own, and then, I found the other guy's account and sent him a message about Mindy. I told him everything. How she had been with me for the past 2 years and how she had essentially been cheating on me with him, and he deserved to know. I even attached proof, screenshots of the two of us talking to each other while she was supposedly with him, and then even pictures of the two of us. Just to make sure that he would actually believe me, and then, I waited. I didn't know what I was thinking, I just knew that it felt like the right thing to do at that moment. And 2 days after that, Mindy finally unblocked me, and I received a phone call from her, which I knew would come. Because he had seen my message, and I knew that I was about to get an earful. As soon as I answered her phone call, she started screaming at me and accused me of ruining her life. She said that I was just jealous of her, yet again, which I don't even understand, because why would I be jealous of her? She said that I couldn't stand to see her happy, and that's why I had gone out of my way to talk to her boyfriend and ruin their relationship, because now, not only was he breaking up with her, but she was also getting fired from her job because apparently, the guy that she was with was none other than the son of the chairman of the company that employed her. And he had complained to his father about whatever had happened, so now she was getting fired. To be honest, I don't know how they can do that. I'm pretty sure this can open them up to lawsuits, but regardless, she is still getting fired and she's blaming me for it. So Ida for telling my ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend that she had been cheating on me with him? Update 1. Hi, thanks for the love on my original post, you guys. It's still difficult for me to deal with what's happening right now, knowing that she cheated in spite of being with me for so long. But I'm trying to get my act together because I know she's not worth my tears, so I have even started looking for a therapist. I want to deal with my life better so I can completely move on and heal from this. It's been 6 days since Mindy contacted me, and because you guys said that I did not need to beat myself up for what happened, I decided to block her. She was wrong about everything that she said. I'm not jealous of her, and I'm certainly not the kind of person who cannot stand to see my ex happy. I'm just the kind of person who doesn't appreciate being cheated on, that's it. So I've blocked her, and now, She can be as mad as she wants to, but I'm not gonna let it bother me because that's what she did to me when I was heartbroken. She has been going around and telling all of our mutual friends that I am the reason that she is getting fired so that she can get some sympathy. But I don't think it's working because for so long, she had not been in touch with any of our friends, out of the fear that they might find out about her relationship and expose her. And now, we all know the reality and I don't think anybody was falling for her act. She was trying to paint me as some really toxic guy who was constantly trying to manipulate her and control her life, which is why she was claiming that she had been cheating on me since she was not in a healthy relationship and she wanted something else. But nobody believes her because people know who I was as a person and that's enough for me, to be honest. She can say whatever she wants, but as long as people know the truth and don't believe her, I'm not even gonna lift a finger to stop her. She has not tried to contact me after we spoke on the phone the last time and she blamed me for all of that stuff that was happening. I blocked her about 3 days after that, so she had the chance to speak to me if she wanted to say anything, but she didn't. So now, I really don't see the point of going around and telling our friends that I'm the bad guy here and they need to stop speaking to me because it's not making me look bad. It's just making her look really immature to everyone else since people are coming to me and telling me what she's doing and making fun of her. I guess she's just in such a terrible place in her life that she can't even make good decisions anymore, but let's be real, that was never her strong suit anyway, judging by what she has done to her life. Update 2. Hi, so I posted my last update just 2 days ago and today, I finally got a response from the other guy that she was seeing. I've got to say, that was really unexpected because he didn't respond to me for a really long time, so I thought maybe he would just ignore my message. But a couple of hours ago, he responded with a text saying that he wanted to speak to me on the phone because he had a lot to talk about. After thinking about it for a few minutes, I decided to give him my phone number and within 15 minutes, he called me. That was 2 hours ago and we just got off the call a couple of minutes back and I came straight to read it to tell you guys what I learned. He started off by telling me that he was really sorry about the things that had happened and I told him that I didn't care about that because it's not like he was at fault. Just like me, he had no idea either. So he had no reason to apologize. After that, he went on to tell me that for the past 6 months, he had been suspecting that maybe Mindy had something going on. And it was only recently that he stopped doubting her since Mindy had broken up with me so she didn't act that shady anymore. He had broken up with her immediately after reading my text because he knew that every single word of it was true since he had noticed the weird way that she would act at the beginning of the relationship and he didn't need to be told twice. So he confronted her after I sent him that message and she tried to deny everything, but it was very stupid of her to do that since there was literally proof of her cheating on me. Ultimately, she confessed that she had been with me, but tried to tell him that she had just been too scared to break things off with me because I was apparently so toxic that she thought I would try to get back at her in some really nasty ways and that's why she had been holding out on it. But she did not have any feelings for me and had just been pretending for the last 6 months. Thankfully, he did not believe a word of what she had said and insisted that she tell him the truth, so after a lot of fighting, she did agree that she had been cheating, but still tried to continue to be with him, and said that she deserved a second chance, which was just such nonsense. Anyway, he dumped her and he was miserable the past couple of days. He hadn't been able to get back to me, but now, he was feeling slightly better and could speak to me. He told me that after her boss had fired her, she immediately started blaming him for it. And he did not deny it, he did have a part to play in it, but it was not like what she believed was going on. The company actually wanted to fire her a really long time ago because she was just plain bad at her work and most of the time, other people in her department would have to pick up her slack. However, ever since she started getting involved with him, she had been getting away with this because he would fight for her and insist that they keep her. But now, he had spoken to his father and the head of her department, so they were letting her go, and he didn't want to fight for her to stay in the company anymore. I thought it was fair enough, it was definitely not what she thought was going on. Mindy strongly believed that she was only getting fired because she had been caught cheating, which might have been against the laws of the company because that's her personal life and it's nothing related to the company or her job. But now we know the truth, that she had been bad at her work anyway, and was going to get fired, but her boyfriend had been delaying it. Now he just wanted to talk to me and ask if I would be willing to testify for them if she actually decided to file a lawsuit, and I agreed without a second thought. He said that they would only need my help in the most dire situation, so he was hoping it wouldn't come through, but they need to have all bases covered, just in case. After getting that out of the way, we ended up talking about her for almost another hour until he had to go, and I've got to say, he seems like a really fun guy, and I know it sounds crazy, but I would really like to be friends with this person. He was constantly making jokes and I swear, I was laughing so hard every time he made a comment about Mindy and our situation right now. I guess it's easier for him to make light of the situation since he was with her for only 6 months, and I was with her for 2 years, something that he even made a joke about. But anyway, I feel much lighter now, to be honest. I haven't been able to speak about this so openly with anybody else, since I wanted to maintain my stance that I'm not going to talk crap about my ex. But this was actually fun, and I've even saved his number, and I think he has, too. Update 3. Hey, so it's been 2 weeks since my last update, and just as I had expected, Mindy has decided to file a lawsuit against her employers for wrongful termination. I wouldn't say it was wrongful, to be honest, knowing what I do now. but it's fine because she's just going to lose her own money because I'm positive that she's not going to win this case. I'm keeping that to myself for now, though, since I wanted to waste her time and money, and energy. Her other ex-boyfriend, let's call him Nick, is the one who contacted me a couple of days ago and told me about it. Just in case they need me, I'm gonna be here on standby for them because I would love the opportunity to screw her over like she did to me. Mindy has still been harping on about how I ruined her life and trying to gain sympathy from everybody else, but I think everybody stopped speaking to her at this point and I'm glad for that. She did not contact me again, but her parents definitely did, to try and guilt trip me into feeling bad. They called me up a couple of days back and I answered their phone call because I really wanted to know what they had to say. Since the last time that I tried to talk to them, they didn't even let me inside that house and told me that they would call the cops on me if I tried to bother them again. So this was going to be interesting, and when I answered my phone, I didn't say anything and let them do all the talking. They told me they were sorry for the way they had behaved last time. They claimed that they were not sure how to deal with the situation, so they just wanted to stay out of it. However, now that I had gone out of my way to do this to her new relationship, they wanted me to try to fix this. They brought up completely irrelevant things, like how Mindy and I had been together for so long, something that they should have reminded their daughter instead of me. And said that I should at least respect our past relationship and not do this to her. I tried to tell them that this was not my fault, but they were just not ready to listen. They even claimed that they had always thought of me as a son, although I highly doubt that they would ever tell their own son to leave them alone, or they would call the cops. Anyway, after hearing them out, I told them that there was really nothing I could do to help them because it was the company's decision to let her go and not mine. So even if I went ahead and deleted all the messages that I had sent earlier, which I couldn't do, it would be pointless. Then they hung up on me and did not speak to me again, and I'm honestly relieved because I don't have anything to say to them either. Update 4. So Mindy and her employers were able to come to an out-of-court settlement, but even then, she didn't get much. It was pretty easy for them to prove that Nick was actually the person who was saving her from being fired because they had reports on her and all of them were negative since she had started working there. It's a miracle she didn't get fired earlier. Anyway, she just got $3,000 out of this, and I'm pretty sure that that's not what she was looking for, so she must be really disappointed. And she's probably even more pissed than disappointed because a couple of days back, Nick and I met for lunch. He said that he was near where I worked, so while I was on break, we just decided to go out and grab lunch together. Over the course of the past few weeks, we have become really close and have been talking to each other a lot. Even apart from the whole Mindy thing, we have a lot of things in common, and I really feel like he's my long-lost brother because it's creepy how well we get along. I guess Mindy cheating on us really did us both a favor because now, we know each other, and she has been mad about it for quite some time now since she keeps talking about how betrayed she feels to her friends, and even her friends have been texting us to have some shame and have been saying that they know that we are just talking about her, which is not even true. To be honest, we have a lot of other things to talk about apart from her as well. Anyway, from what we have heard, she is unemployed right now and has gone back to living with her parents because so far, she had been living in an apartment close to Nick's place, and he was actually paying for it. But after they broke up, obviously he was not going to continue doing that. He even had the grace to let her stay there for another week, but then, he had to tell her that she was going to get evicted because she wouldn't be able to afford the kind of rent that the place had, and he was not going to be helping her out anymore. So she moved out, and, since then she has been living with her parents. Life really sucks for her right now, and I'm very happy about it. I know that I said I didn't want to be the kind of person who can't stand to see my ex happy, but Mindy is the kind of person who doesn't even deserve to be happy. For so long, she had been gaslighting me into believing that I was a problem, but I guess we all know who it really was. Anyway, I'm not gonna let her dictate my life anymore, and I'm gonna try and just fix everything for myself now.